Great to be joining you today, talking about what it's like to hire your first staff member. I remember all those years ago when I actually started to recruit staff in my old partnership. I remember what it was like, the first member of staff that we managed to take on in the value team, and how it made me feel. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. For the next 20 minutes maximum, I'm going to share some of the guidance, some of the things that I've experienced being an employer, some of the experiences that I've had about actually working with some of my team over the years. Now, let me start by saying it's different for every business owner. Recruiting staff is difficult at times. It's easy at times. It depends on finding the right person. I'm a huge fan in believing that your staff, your team members, are the most valuable member of your team. They're the biggest asset that you will ever have. Your customers, they will come, they will go potentially. Your suppliers, they will come, they will go. But your staff, if you get them right, they're going to help you to achieve your goals. Take it back to the why, take it back to the purpose that we talked about a little while ago, and actually look and consider why it is you set up your business. What is the purpose of your business? What it is that you personally want from your business? Is it that you want to be working 70, 80 hours a week and you're actually struggling to actually do all of the work and you need that member of staff to come on, but you're frightened to take that jump, you're frightened to take that leap because it comes with so much headache in some circumstances employing staff. No, I'm absolutely delighted. I've got one of the best teams, if not the best team actually, that I've ever worked with in my professional career. I work with an awesome team now. I'm so proud of them, every single one of them, and they are committed to help and valued to help our clients. I had a leadership meeting with them yesterday, with some of the leadership team yesterday, and I'm astounded by how much the team want to help me to achieve my goals. So it would be remiss of me not to thank them for all of the hard work, the effort, and everything that they do on a daily basis. But when we are hiring our first member of staff, we've got to consider 8 things, in my opinion. I'm going to run through them. Like I said, it's going to be no more than 20 minutes in today's session. If you've got any questions, pop it in the chat. If you've got any comments, pop it in the chat. Anything that comes back on playback, again, just pop it in the chat or send us an email, wecare@yourvalued.co.uk, and we'll reply to everything. We normally get quite a few people watching this live, but we get even more people actually watching on playback. So please do continue to get engaged afterwards as well. And please do just let me know that the sound's working okay as we go now. So one of the things that we've got to consider when we're employing our first member of staff is the need for that first member of staff. A lot of our clients, a lot of the people I've dealt with over the last 20 odd years of my career have set up a business to be a sole trader, have set up to be one person working from their bedroom, one person working from a unit, whatever the scenario is. And all of a sudden they realize that actually they're really busy and the need to take that member of staff on because they can't do everything. They realize that they're actually turning work away. But I've also got a lot of clients that have took the opposite approach and said, you know what? I just want to be employed by my business in essence. I just want my business to have enough to feed me, my family, my lifestyle, and not worry about actually taking the next step, not worrying about actually employing people. One of my best friends has one of the best accountancy firms that I'm aware of, and he is a sole practitioner. He works from home. That is what his goals are. That is what he tries to achieve, and that's what he's achieved. I respect him for that. It valued it was always going to be where we were going to bring some team members on. So consider the time that you're actually spending in your business right now and whether employing somebody would actually save you that time. Yes, you've got a cost to that. But if you were to bring somebody in on the business, would that mean that that would give you the potential to be able to grow your business, to bring extra revenue in? Would it give you the potential to have some more time with your family, with your friends, to work on the business? Would it free you up to do that? One of the things that's really interesting, and I read this quite a bit and I listen to it on the podcasts and everything else as well, is whereby, let's say you're raising an invoice for an hour's worth of your work, and let's say it's £25 an hour. If you go and you employ somebody, let's say for £10 an hour, £15 an hour, whatever it might be, are you better actually going out, getting more work for that second person and making profit on them? covering their costs in the first instance? Are you better off doing that? It's all about the budget. It's all about the reason why. And it's all about actually making sure that it's a right step for you. The next thing I would do, it links in directly to that, is I would create a detailed budget. So where you at now within the business? What's the turnover? What's the cost? What's the profit? What's left for you? What is it that you get from the business? Let's use a tool like Fathom and use the what if scenario. And in there, we can say, right, if we hire a new employee, what happens? The employee's costs come in there as a cost, the profit drops. But actually, if we hire an employee, what happens to the sales? What's the impact on the budget, on the financial figures if we employ somebody? What can we do there? Really recommend Fathom. It's a wonderful tool. We've got a blog coming in the next week, I think it is, all about detailed budgeting. There's going to be some more stuff on there, and we're going to do a live with our good friend Darren as well from Fathom as well. So do a detailed budget. Make sure that you've got the information to run your business. Make sure you've got enough there to be able to pay for the person. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to go out there, employ somebody and realize that actually with them after a month, 2 months, you haven't got the money to be able to do it. There's people out there that would argue. There's mentors out there that I know that would argue. Employ the person. You will find the money at the end of the month. I'm an accountant deep down. So make sure you've got the money to be able to afford it. Make sure you've got that investment to be able to do it. But when you've done that, make sure, point number 3, that you've got a clear job description. You know exactly what that person is meant to be doing. Don't make the same mistakes that I've made too many times in my career, where you employ people, you are a manager of people. But what you end up doing is you end up having that problem instead of actually passing the problems on to them. It's not all about problems, don't get me wrong. But sometimes what happens is a team member comes to you and says, I don't know what to do here. So you go, oh, it's all right, I'll just do it for you because it's quicker and it's easier and I can't be bothered with the hassle. I'll just take it on. There's a whole book by Ken Blanchard, I think it is, about monkey management. Brilliant book in there. 1 Minute Manager and Monkey Manager in there as well. Brilliant book. Make sure that actually your employees know, your team members know what is expected of them. As soon as you've got that, you've got accountability. As soon as you've got that, they know what you're expecting from them. You're also giving them permission to shine, to develop, to move into their own area. Giving them purpose, helping them be part of the system, part of the business, part of your dream. Share with them what your goals are for the business. Yesterday, some of my leadership team turned around to me, and asked a question: do you plan to retire in the next 10 years? That was wasn't expecting that one, but I shared my dreams. I shared my goals in those areas. I could have said that's nothing to do with you, but actually, no, it was important. It was important to them, and they felt comfortable enough to ask me. And I felt delighted to be able to share that. So make sure that actually you've got a plan, you've got a clear job description, but you share the purpose, the culture of the business. Remember, culture is what happens when the boss isn't there. So we need to make sure that everybody's on the same page there. Before you actually employ this person, so we're talking right now about, do you need somebody in the business to help you increase the sales? Do you need somebody to actually make you do less work in the business? Do you have the budget to be able to do that? Do you have the clear job description? But how do you actually go out and find that person? You can go to the job center. You can go on recruitment agent websites. You can go on to Indeed, on Reed, and various other sites and actually put an advert out there. The one thing that's worked for me personally best is to have a really close relationship with a recruitment agent. So Bryony, who does all of our recruitment, she's aware of what a valued person is. So when somebody comes along that fits the valued mold, she rings us up and says, Stephen, I've got this person. You might be interested. Put it on your website that you're recruiting. Put it on your social media that you're recruiting. Don't just put the boring things. Don't just put the basic job description on the website. Go deep. Do a video. Do a video of this is the person I'm after. This is what I want you to do. Make sure you've got a recruitment process in there so that you actually weed out anybody that's not right for your business and you promote the right image to your candidate. Your candidate then applies and then they join. I remember my very first job in accountancy, well, full-time job in accountancy. I was doing some temping work at a brewery many, many, many years ago, far too many years ago to remember now, to be honest. And I applied for a job in a partnership, in my old partnership. I applied for a job and I forgot about it because nobody replied, nobody got back to me. I didn't think I'd got the job. Then all of a sudden, I got a letter from the managing partner saying, I'd like you to come for an interview. And there was lots of information about that firm that I got sent at that point. Because he took the time, because Ian Holland had took the time to actually write to me, to speak to me, to sit down and work through exactly who I was, told me who the firm was. That made me invested on day one. That made me realize that actually I wanted to be a partner in that firm many, many years later. And I became a partner in that firm. I became Ian's business partner. That gave me the opportunity to grow and develop my business, to grow and develop Valued. So make sure that actually you've got a clear job description. Make sure that actually you've got clarity around what you're trying to achieve, the candidate you're trying to bring in, and make sure your advert speaks to them. Recruitment agents are brilliant. Obviously, that comes with a fee. Networking is another way. Going out there and just talking to people and saying, do you know anybody that's suitable? Right now, we're going to be recruiting within Valued. We've got a couple of ways that we're recruiting. We're not going down the recruitment agent route for this role that I've got coming up. We're going off to the universities. We're talking to graduates. There's lots of different things we're going to be doing there, but I'm also going to be doing some of the videos, some of the things I've just been talking about there. So make sure you've got clarity around who's doing the recruitment. When you actually bring the person in, you've got to understand your legal obligations. As soon as you become an employer, that comes with a lot of red tape. You've got to enroll for a pay-as-you-earn scheme. You've got to report every single time you pay your employee. You've got to make sure that you actually notify HMRC, you notify the Inland Revenue. You've got to keep accurate records. But more importantly, you've got to have staff handbooks. You've got to have policies and procedures. You've got to have contracts of employment. You've got to have employers' liability insurance. Make sure you understand all of these obligations because they're really, really important. It's there for your protection as well as the employee's protection. So make sure you understand those. Understand the rights of an employee as well would be the next thing that I would always say you need to consider. Because one of the things that has to happen is your employee is entitled to holidays. They're entitled to maternity pay, paternity pay. They're entitled to, if they're not well, not coming in. Sickness benefits, things like that. Understand the rights of the employee. Because one of the things that you actually realize is that as a business owner, you might come to work when you're not feeling right. We've got a client that left her business. She's employed by her own business in essence. She's a one-woman entrepreneur within the business. She's employed by her business. She left. She had a baby, and she was back at her desk 2 months later because she didn't want the business to reduce down. That was what she wanted to do. As an employer, you could never do that. You could never say, come back after 2 months. So you've got to understand that your employee has a lot of rights, and rightly so, the employee has a lot of rights. We've got to make sure that we're aware of those before we take that leap. But also accept that your employees, in some circumstances, not all, are not as good as you. They're not as good as you. They don't care quite as much as you. Because remember, it's your business. It's you that set this business up. But one of the lessons I've learned is that a lot of employees care just as much as you when you get it right. I've got an amazing team, and a lot of those team members, if not all, are passionate about Valued as much as I am. And I'm so proud of that. But over the years, I've also had some team members that didn't care in the slightest. Accept that they're not going to be as good as you. would be my advice. Accept that they can do it differently. Accept that they may be 95% as good as you. Accept that. And accept that you're getting time back to grow the business, to develop the business, to achieve your why, to achieve your purpose. Done beats perfect sometimes. So accept that. But the biggest thing for me on the whole thing with employees is be clear about your expectations. Make sure that you're open, you're honest. Make sure that you don't try and fluff it. Make sure that you accept you're going to make mistakes. You're going to say the wrong thing at times. Make sure that the employees know what they're expected to do. Because if you get it right, having an employee in your business will transform the way that you work. It'll transform, it'll give you freedom. It'll give you your business in a way that you've never imagined. It'll give you endless possibilities to grow your business, to develop your business. When I very first started Valued, I remember there was myself and there was two others in the business. Employee number one, employee number two came in day one. Did I ever expect to have the number of employees that we've got now? Never. Did I ever want it? Nope. No, I didn't sign up for that. But I'm delighted we did. Because in hindsight, it was the right thing to do. But it's got to link back to your why. It's got to link back to your purpose. It's got to link back to what's important to you. Harry Constance just commented there, good advice. Thank you so much, Harry. If it's all right, Harry, I'm just going to share some advice that you gave me many years ago. Harry actually turned around and he said to me, he says, make sure you spend time with your kids because you can't ever get that time back. Make sure what's important to you is important to you. Harry, thank you for that advice, because a lot of the way that I am as a leader now, is the way that I am as an employer, is because of that advice. Because I know that I want to spend more time with Kate, Lucy, and Jessica. I want time to be happy, to live my life outside of my business. I couldn't do that if it was just me in my business. I couldn't handle the clients that we've got if it was just me in my business. But you've got to make sure you've got the right team around you to support you. Make sure you're employing people. One of my good friends many years ago used to have a line he stuck by for years: employ people that are better than you. Because if you employ people that push you, that develop you, that want more than you, it's going to help you to achieve your goals. And just like Ian Harland, that one day employed me, he then asked me to become his business partner. As a salary partner, then an equity partner. I didn't expect on day one to become his business partner. Never expected that. But I'm delighted that he gave me that opportunity. Your employees one day might become your partner. Your employees one day might buy your business from you. Your employees one day might be your succession plan for getting out of the business. Find the right ones. Find the ones that are as passionate as you, but also find the ones that are going to help you to grow your business. Not everybody has to be as passionate and jumpy and wanting to change the world. Not everybody has to do that or want to do that. Sometimes you just need people that'll sit and just churn work out. That's great. Just make sure you're employing the right type of people. Because when you employ the right type of people, they will help you to transform your business. But remember, in my opinion, and it's not just my opinion, there's lots of business owners will share this. Your employees will be your most valuable asset. Put your employees first, care about them, help them to grow, help them to help you, because they will make such a difference. As always, thank you very much for your time today. That's coming up to 20 minutes. I did promise that would finish in 20 minutes today. If anybody has any comments, please do drop them into the chat. More than happy to answer any questions, any other advice that anybody's asking. If people want to know what's gone right, what's gone bad, and in my personal experience, I'll gladly share that. That's not a problem whatsoever. Please do, as always, get in touch if you need any help, any support, and subscribe to our blog via www.yourvalued.co.uk. And finally, if there's any themes you would like us to talk about, any guest speakers you would like us to bring on, please do pop that in the comments as well, because we have got a plan for what we're going to talk about over the next 12 months. But if there's extra things, we're more than happy to put that in as well. Have a great day, and I shall catch up with you soon. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.